Welcome to the Robertson County High School Football Show with your hosts, Robertson County Connection sports reporter David Wilson and Main Street Clarksville sports editor Brady McAtamney. The Robertson County High School Football Show is brought to you by Springfield Carpet One. Whether you are in need of new hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, carpet, or laminate, Springfield Carpet One has everything you need for your next flooring project. Thomas Drugs. Since the early 1900s, Thomas Drugs has served the Robertson community for all of their prescription needs. Stop by and see their friendly staff and grab you a sundae at their ice cream parlor today. Old Hickory Credit Union. Whether you need to open a checking account or interested in taking out a loan or mortgage, Old Hickory Credit Union can help you every step of the way. Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment. Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment is your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor needs. Select Physical Therapy in Springfield. Select Physical Therapy provides inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation services in Robertson County. And the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Now, here are David Wilson and Brady McAtamney.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into the Robertson County Football Show. My name is David Wilson, sports reporter for the Robertson County Connection, here to give you all the feedback and recaps from Week 3 of the high school football season. Joining me, as always, is sports editor Brady McAtamney of Main Street Clarksville, here to help me dive into this week's action. So, Brady, let's get right into it.
Yeah, how about we start, as always, with the Springfield Yellow Jackets. Our Springfield High School football segment is brought to you by the Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment in Springfield. They are a one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Stop by and see their inventory or give them a call at 615-384-7660. David, Springfield's offense showed signs of improvement in the second half versus Henry County. What made the Yellow Jackets offense successful in the second half despite the big road loss?
Yeah, I mean, it was a matchup that was really preseason one. We had circled in the Robertson County area. Henry County was one of the preseason favorites in Region 7-5A, and Springfield is as consistent as they come year in and year out under Dustin Wilson. But this one was really ugly early. Henry County was able to dominate both sides of the ball, really, and forcing their will with their running attack on the offensive side of the ball, and forcing Springfield into some turnovers in the first half. Springfield's first 4 drives were a turnover on downs in Henry County territory, a 3-and-out, another punt, and then an interception in the red zone. So Springfield could really not get anything going offensively in the first half. But in the second half, just despite the 50-14 loss, they were able to see signs of improvement. And when I was watching the highlights of the game, going back and watching through some of the film, Clarence Cobbins really stood out for me as Springfield. The wide receiver is a guy they need to get the ball in his hands more. He's really dynamic, really athletic, and has breakaway speed, game-changing speed. The senior has several D1 offers that he'll be playing college football at the D1 level next year. So getting the ball in his hands on short passes, jet sweeps, anything, bubble screens to get him the ball. The Springfield offense has success when he has the ball in his hands. They showed their quick hitting ability in the second half. They scored on 2 of their 4 drives, really 2 of their 3 drives. Their last drive of the game is when a lot of backups and second stringers came in and kind of mop up duty. So I'll say the starters scored on 2 of the 3 drives that they had in the second half. They got the football first coming out of the halftime break, and Jaden Hurst right away off the first play of scrimmage in the second half, 62 yards to the house for the Yellow Jackets to get them on the board. And then their final drive as a first-team offensive unit, Parker Betts with a 44-yard touchdown run into the end zone. So they have to continue to run the football. That is the identity and probably the strength of their offense right now, with that downhill rushing attack and just the many different options of people that can carry the football for Springfield. So look for them to try to run the ball moving forward. The passing game down the field is something that they've not really been able to do. They can do the short intermediate passes, but nothing really to push the ball down the field. So look for them to continue to try to run the ball, the identity of their team, and get the ball in the hands of Clarence Cobbins, and then they can bounce back moving forward. The last 2 weeks have been rough for them, playing against Clarksville, playing against Henry County. Just defensively, they haven't been able to force any turnovers or really get off the field. So both Clarksville and Henry County have been able to establish their will against Springfield, but that will change moving forward. Do not be surprised for Dustin Wilson's group to get 5 or 6 or even 7 wins this year.
Yeah, David, another team that kind of had a bounce back week here on offense was the Greenbrier Bobcats. They had a 21-0 win over Whites Creek. Our Greenbrier High School football segment is brought to you by Old Hickory Credit Union. Whether you need to open a checking account or are interested in taking out a loan or a mortgage, Old Hickory Credit Union can help you every step of the way. Visit their branch in Greenbrier or give them a call at 615-847-4043. Greenbrier picked up its first win of the season in region play this year. How were the Bobcats able to do it?
Yeah, the connection of Travaris Flood and Nolan Carson, the senior wide receiver hooking up with the senior quarterback, or really vice versa. I probably said that backwards. But, those two were able to rekindle their connection here in week 3. They had kind of gone missing. We had to put out an SOS in the Ridgetop area for those guys. They showed up in the first half of the Springfield game in week 1. Those two connected for a long touchdown pass for the Bobcats' first touchdown of the year. But those two had not been connecting in the second half versus Springfield, and then last week in their game against Portland. So they came out early, first play from scrimmage after a Greenbrier onside kick. So I guess John Elmore's team had a sense of urgency of being an 0-2 team, having their first region game against Whites Creek. They were able to recover the first onside kick, or the opening kickoff rather, and then the first play from scrimmage, Flood and Carson able to connect on the deep pass to get them on the scoreboard. They later connected again in the first half to go up 14-0. So 2 touchdowns early by those two. Flood finished with 4 catches for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then Nolan Carson was 10 of 19 passing. So maybe not as efficient as he would want to be. Had 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also had 11 carries for 54 yards and a late touchdown in the fourth quarter on the ground to help seal that win for Greenbrier, their first win of the year, their first win in their first game of region play. So they started region off to a good start. Nolan Carson accounted for 204 of the 254 Greenbrier offensive yards. So he was moving. The senior put his team on the back last Friday night, and they were able to pick up the win over Whites Creek, who was making the jump from 2A to 4A. So I mentioned last week that Greenbrier was going to be the more physical team, the more dominant team, and they showed that defensively. Their defense really struggled last week against Portland, giving up 42 points. They kind of went back to the defense that I saw in person in week 1 at Springfield, a defense that could really get after you and force some pressure and kind of establish the line of scrimmage. So we're looking forward to them doing that throughout the rest of the year. We'll see if they can do it next week against Marshall County, who's going to be a really tough opponent that we'll preview later on.
Yeah, moving on to White House Heritage. They were bound to get that first loss eventually, and it came this week against Westmoreland, 35-14. Our White House Heritage High School football segment is brought to you by Springfield Carpet One in Springfield. Whether you are in need of new hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, carpet, or laminate, Springfield Carpet One has everything you need for your next flooring project. Stop by their showroom or give them a call at 615-382-7190. David, Scott Murray's Patriots have suffered their first loss of the season. What can White House Heritage gain or learn from their road loss to Westmoreland?
Yeah, I don't think the sky is falling at all at White House Heritage. I think, if anything, I don't know if there's good losses, but it's good to have a lesson like this early on. This was their first road game of the year. Their first 2 games were in the comfort of their own home field and their own home environment in front of their fans. It was good to take the show on the road this week against a Westmoreland team that was really talented. And Westmoreland showed you last Friday night that they can run the football. They had 5 rushing touchdowns last Friday night, accounting for all of their touchdowns. So White House Heritage really struggled stopping the run against that Eagles offense. But I wanted to see how the White House Heritage offense was going to do on the road. And Xavier Murray looked okay. He looked actually pretty good. His stat line was 14 of 21 passing for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's got a go-to target on that offensive side of the football, and that's wide receiver Eric Lopez. Those two connected for their first touchdown of the game in the second quarter, I think. So it was a 10-yard pass. So those two were able to build a connection early on. That's Lopez's 4th touchdown of the year already. So he's had a breakout scene in the Robertson County area. And then Murray was able to find Adrian Bonilla out of the backfield in the fourth quarter on a really long touchdown pass for their 2 scoring drives of the night. So it was a good lesson for them to learn under Scott Murray. It was not a region game, so it has not hurt them at all. It was just a good lesson for them, for a team that is young, that has aspirations of competing for a region championship. to go on the road and face a hostile environment against a team that's going to be physical and that's going to try to run the football. So I look for White House Heritage to bounce back this week. We'll preview their matchup with Cheatham County a little later on. That will be their first region game of the year. But I was excited to see that the offense, was able to do some things offensively on the road. Xavier Murray in his first career varsity start on the road, the freshman quarterback, was able to get them in the right positions, make the right checks at the line, and was efficient in the passing game. So we'll see if they can continue that moving forward.
Yeah, moving on to East Robertson, the Indians picked up a 20-7 road win at Monterey. Our East Robertson High School football segment is brought to you by Thomas Drugs in Cross Plains. Since the early 1900s, Thomas Drugs has served the Robertson community for all of their prescription needs. Stop by and see their friendly staff and grab you a sundae at their ice cream parlor today. David, East Robertson is 3-0 for the first time in over 2 decades. How long can the Indians stay undefeated?
Yeah, it's really an historic start up there in Cross Plains. I was trying to do some research and see how far it goes back before they had their 3-0 start. I went all the way back to 2003, and the computer would not let me go any further. So at least since 2003, this is their first 3-0 start, and it's bound to continue. They play Sycamore this weekend, and who's an 0-3 team. They will be the favorite in that road matchup and likely to pick up the win. They'll come back home to face Joe Burns in week 5, and they will be the favorite in that one. So they have a really good chance of running the table here for the rest of the regular season. They will be favored in the majority, really all of their matchups. They face Smith County later on in the year. That will be a game to keep an eye on. They will have that one in Cross Plains, so that is valuable to have that one coming in. So they have the opportunity to run the table and go undefeated in the regular season, which has probably never been done in the East Robertson football history. So that's something they have to be really excited about. And they're a talented team. Last week, they were able to pick up a win on the road against Monterey, a matchup that we had circled in our preseason column about matchups to watch. Monterey's a good team under Scott Hughes, and East Robertson was able to take the show on the road with second-year head coach Chase Brooks and get the win. Isaiah Groves is a story once again, offensively being able to run the football. He had 17 carries for 201 yards and a touchdown, so he continues to dominate the ground game. He's averaging 14.9 yards per carry this year, Brady. So that's really electric and is exciting. He has the opportunity to take the football to the house every time he gets his hands on it. And then offensively, his brother Elijah was once again vital. He had 3 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. Defensively, he had 8 tackles and an interception. So he continues to do it on both sides of the football. For this team to go undefeated the rest of the year, those two will have to continue to play to the phenomenal standard that they have. And then freshman quarterback Casey Young will need to continue to put them in the right situations offensively. As I've mentioned several times, they have an embarrassment of riches on both sides of the ball. That offensive line up there in Cross Plains does not get enough credit for their ability to establish the line of scrimmage and get after you, get to the second level of the defense. And then their defense, led by Dallas Caffrey in the middle, Elijah Groves, Wyatt Pearson, Zach Groves. They're just able to get after you in so many different ways and really limit what you can do offensively. So they are bound to continue to have good weeks moving forward. I see them at least going 4-0 this week with the opportunity to go 5-0 next week against Joe Burns. So the sky's the limit for that program, coming off an 11-2 year last year, reaching the TW Select quarterfinals. So I know they have aspirations of more. They have hopes of getting to Chattanooga, and they're well on their way to do that. We'll take our first commercial break here in the Robertson County Football Show. Coming up, we'll talk about the 2 Blue Devils. We'll talk about Joe Burns.
At Old Hickory Credit Union, we're member-owned, not-for-profit, and eager to serve our Robertson County community. Since 1934, we have strived to provide our members with a safe, reliable place to take care of all their financial needs. From checking accounts to loans to mortgages, we're here to help. Credit unions have to constantly adapt to meet the needs of an ever-changing market. However, one constant will always remain, and that is the service we provide to our members. Stop by our Greenbrier branch today.
If you're in need of new flooring, look no further than Springfield Carpet One, Floor and Home. We have a showroom filled with a wide range of flooring options, including hardwood, luxury vinyl, carpet, laminate, and tile. Our expert team is here to provide advice and guidance to help you find the right flooring for your needs. With special financing available, you can buy now and pay over time. Stop by our showroom today or visit our website at carpet1springfield.com.
Thomas Drugs, serving our community since the early 1900s. We're a full-service drugstore and soda fountain located in a building on Main Street that is on the National Register of Historic Places. We have a staff of pharmacists with over 70 years of experience, and we are committed to offering the best care and service to our community. We're now offering healthcare testing and treatment with positive results, a one-stop shop. Stop by our pharmacy today or visit our website at thomasdrugs.net.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
Welcome back to the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show. I'm Brady McTamney here with your host, David Wilson. David, what do you say we talk some Devils football, starting with the Red Devils? The Joe Burns football squad lost 35-8 at Whitwell this past week. Our Joe Burns High School football segment is brought to you by Select Physical Therapy in Springfield. Select Physical Therapy provides inpatient and outpatient rehabilitation services in Robertson County. Give them a call today at 615-384-3836. David, can the Red Devils rebound from their first loss of the season?
Yeah, so their loss this week was actually their second. I'm sorry, Brady. That was my bad. On the notes, their first road loss of the season. They lost their week 1 home matchup against McEwen by a final score of 27-14. So the Red Devils are 1-2 under first-year Joe Burns head coach Justin Robinson. And this trip was valuable for them, being able to play a great opponent on the road. They were very familiar with Whitwell. These two faced each other last year in the postseason, with Whitwell getting the win in that matchup as well. So being able to travel on the road, once again in a non-region game against another Class A opponent, that's valuable for them as they head into this home matchup this week against Gordonsville in their region opener. So the question is the quarterback situation up there in Cedar Hill. Luke Miller was really the only quarterback to get things going for them this week. He had a touchdown pass to Clay Woody that really accounted for the lone score and really the lone offensive production for that Joe Burns offense this past week. So will it be Amari Cotton moving forward, or will it be Luke Miller? Those two had competed throughout the summer to get the start. In the first couple of weeks, it was Amari Cotton, and he showed flashes of the potential, the things that he could do in week 1, hooking up with Reed Blumel for a touchdown, running in a touchdown in week 1 as well. So Cotton, the dual threat quarterback, really played well the last week in week 2 against Ballard Memorial in their 51-7 win. He was at 6 of 11 passing that week, able to do it with his legs as well. So the question is the quarterback position. And, you know, the old saying, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you really have no quarterbacks. So can Justin Robinson make a decision in regards to who's going to be best served to lead that Joe Burns offense moving forward? As I mentioned, they opened up region play this week against Gordonsville. We'll break down that matchup, but it's really going to be important for them to figure out who the leader of that offense is and try to get him involved and get him distributing the football to Malachi Rivera at the running back position, and then all region wide receiver Reed Blumel on the outside. So I look forward to seeing what they do. They need to bounce back this week off to a 1-2 start. It would be great for them to come out of this week 2-2 with their region win over Gordonsville and be 1-0 moving forward.
From the Red Devils to the Blue Devils, David, White House picked up a 27-0 win over Montgomery Central. Our White House football segment is brought to you by Springfield Carpet One in Springfield. Whether you're in need of new hardwood, luxury vinyl, tile, carpet, or laminate, Springfield Carpet One has everything you need for your next flooring project. Stop by their showroom or give them a call at 615-382-7190. David, White House is off to their first 3-0 start since 2019. Can the Blue Devils be contenders in a stacked Region 5 4A?
That is yet to be determined, Brady. They're off to a really good start. They're 3-0 for the first time, as you mentioned, since 2019. They really have a good opportunity to go 4-0 this week against Whites Creek. But last week against Montgomery Central, they really dominated on both sides of the ball. Their first shutout win since last year against White House Heritage. They beat Montgomery Central by a final score of 27-0. And once again, as it's been the story the last 2 weeks with that Blue Devils offense, getting off to a good start offensively. They showed explosiveness in the second quarter against Liberty Creek in week 2, and they showed some explosive tendencies this past week against Montgomery Central. Quarterback Tanner Hayes once again leading that charge on the offensive side of the football. The quarterback has been able to do it with his arms and his legs this year. So, and then there's no secret about this team's identity. They like to run the football. They're really old school. They'll line up in the I formation, and they will get after you with running back Michael Albin, who had a touchdown this past week. Deion Gunter will also get some reps at the running back position and get some carries for them. And then on the outside, they have some explosive playmakers in Kenny Holt and Trenton McCormick, Jaden Schultz. So they have options on the outside, and they have options in the backfield to hurt you with their old school kind of smash mouth Tennessee Titans-esque with Derrick Henry offensive style. So this isn't a team that is really sexy offensively. I'll say that. They're old school, and you like old school 80s, 90s football, line up in the I formation, run it down your throat, play football in a phone booth, then this is your kind of team. So White House with Ryan Hamilton, they're off to a great start, looking to go 4-0 this week, and they'll, like I said, have the prime opportunity to do that. I want to give a credit to that Blue Devils defense. You know, last week against Liberty Creek, they really struggled in the second half to get off the field and contain that Wolves offense led by quarterback Brian Rager. This week they put a full performance together from start to finish with the shutout win against Montgomery Central. So this defense has been, you know, really good 2 out of the 3 weeks. Really, they just had a bad second half against Liberty Creek. In week 1, they only limited Portland to 6 points, turning over that Panthers offense 3 times. This week, they were able to pitch a shutout. So if we see the defense that we saw in week 1 and in last week against Montgomery Central, then this White House team has a really good opportunity to be contenders in a stacked region that features Procone, that features Marshall County. So they had that opportunity to kind of sneak up on those 2 teams. If they continue to run the football, which is, you know, good in November and December, you know, that's really valuable, teams that can run the football. And then teams that can play really good defense and force turnovers, then you're going to have the opportunity to win when it comes to the playoffs and make a push to make that trip to Chattanooga.
David, we're going to take our second break of the show here. When we come back, we're going to do some previews for Week 4 games.
Whether you've set personal goals or are just making your health and well-being a priority, Select Physical Therapy is here for you. Select Physical Therapy is your trusted physical therapy partner for recovering from aches and pains, gaining strength, and preventing injury. There's no better time to make Select Physical Therapy's movement experts part of your healthcare team. To learn more about the benefits of physical therapy and get on the road to recovery and wellness, schedule an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
If you're in the market for new equipment, come to Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment in Springfield. We are your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor projects and needs. We have a large selection of Echo Power equipment and a full line of bad boy mowers and tractors. We also have a broad inventory of outdoor storage buildings and provide maintenance and small engine repair on most equipment. We also carry a large line of mower engines and parts. For great financing options, stop by Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment today. If you're in need of new flooring, look no further than Springfield Carpet One, Floor and Home. We have a showroom filled with a wide range of flooring options, including hardwood, luxury vinyl, carpet, laminate, and tile. Our expert team is here to provide advice and guidance to help you find the right flooring for your needs. With special financing available, you can buy now and pay over time. Stop by our showroom today or visit our website at carpet1springfield.com.
At Old Hickory Credit Union, we're member-owned, not-for-profit, and eager to serve our Robertson County community. Since 1934, we have strived to provide our members with a safe, reliable place to take care of all their financial needs. From checking accounts to loans to mortgages, we're here to help. Credit unions have to constantly adapt to meet the needs of an ever-changing market. However, one constant will always remain, and that is the service we provide to our members. Stop by our Greenbrier branch today. Thomas Drugs, serving our community since the early 1900s. We're a full-service drugstore and soda fountain located in a building on Main Street that is on the National Register of Historic Places. We have a staff of pharmacists with over 70 years of experience, and we are committed to offering the best care and service to our community. We're now offering healthcare testing and treatment with positive results, a one-stop shop. Stop by our pharmacy today or visit our website at thomasdrugs.net.
Welcome back to the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show. We're talking all things Week 3, and now heading into Week 4, David. Where are you going to be?
Yeah, so next week I will be at White House Heritage as they open up region play against Cheatham County. That's a matchup that I really was looking forward to because of how the first 3 weeks unfolded for the Patriots and Scott Murray. Kind of tune-up games versus Harpeth, versus Westmoreland, versus East Hickman, really tuning up for this Week 4 clash in White House versus Cheatham County. The Patriots are 2-1 under first-year Heritage head coach Scott Murray, welcoming in Cheatham County, who's 1-2. These two have had a common opponent. They both played Harpeth, with White House Heritage picking up the Week 1 win against the Indians, whereas Cheatham County lost pretty handily to Harpeth. So White House Heritage, being the home team in this matchup, will be the favorite, and I predict them to win and open up region play with a good start, go 1-0, and then go 3-1 overall with head coach Scott Murray. So that's a matchup that I will be at. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out there at White House Heritage. Should be a perfect night. I know we had some rain in the White House area last week. We got a little wet. So looking forward to the matchup this week. Hopefully it has some good weather and just see, a good old region clash between those two. Other matchups going on in Week 4 in the Robertson County area. East Robertson, for the third time in 4 weeks to start the year, going on the road again. This time they'll go to Sycamore. Sycamore is 0-3. Meanwhile, East Robertson, as we mentioned, they're 3-0 and looking to continue their perfect start. This one really is going to be the story of, can East Robertson continue to run the football, take care of the football on the offensive side of the ball with Elijah Groves, Kason Young, Caleb McNeil. I mean, the list goes on and on. The weapons that they have on the offensive side of the football. So they will be the favorite in this matchup. I predict them to win and move to 4-0 over a Sycamore team that lost to Clarksville Academy. So your area, Brady, last week. Sycamore lost by a final score of 27-14 to give Stedman Bell his first win with the Cougars. So East Robertson, it's so valuable being able to play on the road as they have for the first 3 weeks of the year, trying to prepare themselves for a trip to Chattanooga. So look for them to continue their winning ways this week against the War Eagles. Meanwhile, Greenbrier, they're 1-2 on the year, coming off their first win last week against Whites Creek. They will welcome in one of the preseason favorites in Region 5-4A. That will be Marshall County, who's 2-1. The Tigers coming up from Lewisburg. That one's going to be an interesting matchup. Can Greenbrier continue to take the momentum that they had last week and a shutout win against Whites Creek and move it forward against a team that's going to be really good, really talented, always has historically been a great program. So that's a matchup that will be one to watch in the Robertson County area. Joe Burns, they're 1-2 as well. They will welcome in Gordonsville in Region 4-1A. That will be a matchup to watch, the first region game for Justin Robinson in Cedar Hill. Can they bounce back after last week's tough performance against Whitwell on the road? Who's going to play quarterback? We mentioned that earlier. That's going to be something to keep an eye on in Cedar Hill. And then Springfield. Springfield is going to come home after 2 really tough losses against Henry County and Clarksville. They'll face Station Camp and their first-year head coach. Station Camp is 0-3, so they're still looking for their first win this year. So this is a prime bounce-back opportunity for Dustin Wilson's team to get right at home, get back to 500 as they continue region play moving forward. This is a non-region matchup, so look for them to really bounce back offensively. They got to get the football in the hands of Clarence Cobbins, get Parker Betts moving offensively, losing his legs. He has the ability to be a dual threat quarterback, and then get the ball in the hands of Jaden Hurst as well. He's shown you the last 2 weeks that he has big play and home run hitting ability out of the backfield. He's filling in for Keenan Chapman Jr., who was an all Robertson County player last year. He had a knee injury at the beginning of this year that's going to sideline him for the rest of the season. So it's been really a tough road to hoe the last couple of weeks for Springfield. This week in Week 4, they have a prime opportunity to bounce back against the Station Camp team that's really learning under a first-year head coach. And then finally, White House, they're 3-0, looking to go 4-0 this week. They'll welcome in Whites Creek, who just made the trip up to Ridgetop last week against Greenbrier. Whites Creek was shut out by a final score of 21-0. As I mentioned earlier, Whites Creek is making the jump from 2A to 4A. And with White House's style and their ability to play of getting after you on both sides of the football, being able to smash you in the mouth with their running game and get after you on defense, this one has all the recipe to be a White House win, and they will continue that momentum moving forward. I've picked them to win just because of the ability to get after you on both sides of the football, establish the line of scrimmage, and then they have the ability, after they've established the run with Deion Gunter, with Michael Albin, to hit you with the play-action pass with Tanner Hayes' arm. And as I mentioned, he has a flurry of options and weapons on the outside with Jaden Schultz, Kenny Holt, Trent McCormick. So look for Ryan Hamilton in that group to continue the momentum they've had through the first 3 weeks of the year, and they'll look to go 2-0 this week in region play.
Good stuff as always, David. We're going to take our final break of the show this week. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about your game of the week, and we're going to get a player of the week.
If you're in need of new flooring, look no further than Springfield Carpet One, Floor and Home. We have a showroom filled with a wide range of flooring options, including hardwood, luxury vinyl, carpet, laminate, and tile. Our expert team is here to provide advice and guidance to help you find the right flooring for your needs. With special financing available, you can buy now and pay over time. Stop by our showroom today or visit our website at carpet1springfield.com.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good. I thought it was good.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal. It was no big deal.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I thought I could hold my liquor.
Whether you've set personal goals or are just making your health and well-being a priority, Select Physical Therapy is here for you. Select Physical Therapy is your trusted physical therapy partner for recovering from aches and pains, gaining strength, and preventing injury. There's no better time to make Select Physical Therapy's movement experts part of your healthcare team. To learn more about the benefits of physical therapy and get on the road to recovery and wellness, schedule an appointment today at selectphysicaltherapy.com. Experience the power of physical therapy today.
If you're in the market for new equipment, come to Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment in Springfield. We are your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor projects and needs. We have a large selection of Echo Power equipment and a full line of bad boy mowers and tractors. We also have a broad inventory of outdoor storage buildings and provide maintenance and small engine repair on most equipment. We also carry a large line of mower engines and parts. For great financing options, stop by Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment today.
Welcome back to the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show. We are officially wrapping up our Week 3 coverage here and headed into Week 4 as David gives us a game of the week to watch and the player of the week from last week. David, what we got?
Yeah, let's just wrap up Week 3. I'm going to do co-players of the week. This one was really hard for me to decide, so I'm just going to go co-players of the week, and the first one is going to go to Greenbrier quarterback Nolan Carson. Helped lead the Bobcats to their first win of the year this past week against Whites Creek. Carson accounted for 204 of the 254 total yards of Greenbrier's offense. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 running. The 2 passes to Travaris Flood. The rushing touchdown was a 12-yard scamper into the end zone. So co-player of the week award number 1 is go to Nolan Carson, the Greenbrier quarterback. And then my second player of the week award, the co-player of the week award, is going to go to none other than Isaiah Groves. He was our Week 1 Robertson County player of the week, and he was magnificent. He dazzled once again here in Week 3. He had 17 carries for 201 yards and a touchdown in the East Robertson Road victory over Monterey, helping lead them to a 3-0 start. The first 3-0 start in East Robertson history, going back at least 20 years, so 2 decades. So really long time. They're really poised to continue that moving forward against Sycamore. So those two, Carson of Greenbrier and Isaiah Groves of East Robertson, co-players of the week in Robertson County in Week 3. And then Brady, my game of the week in Week 4, I will be there. White House Heritage hosting Cheatham County in a region showdown. Scott Murray's first region game at White House Heritage, looking to continue the momentum they've established through the first 3 weeks of the year. They're 2-1. They've already eclipsed their win total from a year ago where they were 1-9. So there's positive energy and positive vibes in the White House area with both teams, really. White House off to a 3-0 start White House Heritage off to a 2-1 start. So when those two teams are good, the White House area is full of enthusiasm. I hate that those two teams are not playing this year, battling for the Rotary Cup in the regular season. But, the vibes are good in the White House area. So I will be at Heritage on Friday night. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there. Brady, another week is in the books. Looking forward to doing it with you again next week. For Brady McAtamney, I'm David Wilson. This is the Robertson County Football Wrap-Up Show.
You've been watching the Robertson County High School Football Show with Robertson County Connection sports reporter David Wilson and Main Street Clarksville sports editor Brady McAtamney. Read this week's Robertson County Connection for all the latest news about Robertson County High School sports. The Robertson County High School Football Show has been brought to you by Springfield Carpet One, Thomas Drugs, Old Hickory Credit Union, Countryside Outdoor Power Equipment, Select Physical Therapy in Springfield, and the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Join us each week at this time on Main Street Media TV to get the latest on Robertson County football.